It also starts to bring that thing to us. That's how much we consciously process. It has to go through the filter of our subconscious. Today, we're going to talk about how to manifest anything that you want. And what's really great about today is we're going to look at a tool that's really easy to use, to incorporate, to start to create your focus on what it is you want without the resistance. What I'm about to share with you is kind of a combination of Neville Goddard's work as well as NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. Now, a couple of things about our mind. What really drives us. We're primarily driven by our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is 99.999, like 9% of our life. And so everything that we desire, everything that we create, everything that we want, it has to go through the filter of our subconscious. And our subconscious mind is what pulls things into us and what also directs the course of our life towards something, that thing that we want. So we have to get our subconscious working for us. One of the reasons why we have to get our subconscious working for us is because once we make a decision about something we want, we activate what's called the reticular activating system. And what that is kind of like a heat-seeking missile. This heat-seeking missile is primarily designed to go ahead and search for that thing that you desire. So whatever's your primary focus, whatever your primary thoughts, feelings, emotions are, once you put energy into that, make a decision around that, or start to create a vision of what it is you want, our reticular activating system goes to work. And what that does is it starts to, like a heat-seeking missile, starts to take us in the direction of that thing we're focusing on the most. It also starts to bring that thing to us. Why? Because we're constantly bombarded with information, right? There's something like 2 to 5 million bits of information that our conscious mind is exposed to and our subconscious mind takes in. Now, we can't possibly be consciously aware of the 2 to 5 million bits of information per second that come in. We would go crazy. If you want an example of it, you know people who are maybe highly sensory, maybe someone who's autistic that just gets bombarded with sensory information and it gets very overwhelming. So we have this filtering system. So the 2.5 million bits of information coming per second. And again, you know, you have sensations, you have things you're hearing, you have things you're feeling, you have things you're seeing that you're not consciously aware of. I mean, think about all the different things in your surroundings. Think about the feeling in your left toe. Now, that feeling was always there, but you were never paying attention to it. Why? Because you're listening to the sound of my voice. But then there might be, you know, a point where you stop listening to the sound of my voice and you might be listening to a conversation in another room or the hum of the air conditioning or the heater, depending on where you're at. Those sounds are going on all the time, but we're not consciously focused on that because we have a filtering system. But that information is still going into our subconscious. So our filtering system is out of the 2 to, you know, again, depending on who you talk to or what research information you read, 2 to 5 million bits of information. We take in about 126 plus or minus 7 bits of information per second. Think about it. That's the same, or that's the equivalent of one word out of 400 typical nonfiction books. That's how much we consciously process. Well, what determines what we consciously process? It's our filtering system. And our filtering system is that information that was ingrained to us in our upbringing. From 0 to 7, we don't have a filtering system. We're like a sponge. We take in everything, every thought, every belief, every emotion that we were raised in. And so if we were taught that you are worthy and you are living in an abundant environment and you are a millionaire and you can have anything you desire, then that's your filtering system. If you were taught money doesn't grow on trees, there's never enough, I can't afford this, who do you think you are? That becomes our filtering system. And so as we look at all the information that's around us, we only allow in those things that match what we already believe. We're constantly trying to prove ourselves correct, prove ourselves right.